Hey everybody, welcome to a bonus episode of the JPDUB. This one's a treat because this one was recorded before the JPDUB was even a thing, back when it was only Juice Pro Wrestling interviews. The interview is with a man named Bill Foster. He's an actor, novelist, former principal, former superintendent, cowboy, vineyard owner, steak griller, and he came on the show to promote a short film he was getting ready to start called I've Got Your Six. The special thing about this project was that Bill mostly used military veterans to create this film. The actors, the behind the scenes people, everyone. The reason I didn't put it out before now was purely timing. It was a great interview. I didn't know how to put it out because it wasn't a wrestling themed interview. It was outside of the realm of anything having to do with wrestling. So I put a pause on it. And then when I was convinced to put it out, enough time had passed that I was slightly embarrassed that I did not put it out. So we didn't put it out, and I thought it was a shame. So when I went back into the few pieces that we didn't put out, I needed to put this out. It's a great interview. Bill's a good dude. He works on a lot of community beneficial projects, and I hope you enjoy this interview. Enjoy the show.
Welcome, everybody, to the JPDUB podcast.
We have a very special episode coming at you today with a philanthropist, if you will, to quote the late, great Dusty Rhodes. Bill Foster, a man from Texas that is involved in acting, directing. He has his own damn vineyard. Oh, hell yeah. And he's got a lot of killer projects coming up. He's been a part of some really popular TV shows that you guys will know and recognize, and we're going to get into that. So let's just tear it up right now. What's going on, Bill?
Hey, it's going nothing but the cold weather.
Oh, man.
Stay warm.
What are you talking to me about cold weather down in Texas, in Duster, Texas? Come on now.
Yeah, 60 degrees 2 days ago. Now the high today was 32, so that's a change for us.
Yeah, yeah.
But the good thing is y'all still be cold and we'll warm up degrees in a couple of days.
Right. Yeah, it's like fucking 15, I think, if even that's probably colder right now. It's 11.
The good thing is you can set your cold drinks out on the back porch. You don't have to worry about putting them in the refrigerator.
You know what? That is great. I remember my buddy Brad was out in California for a couple of years, and I would say, we'd talk back and forth. I'd send him pictures because obviously he didn't get the winters that we were getting out here. And I'm like, you miss it yet? I'd have a bunch of Budweisers just stuck in the snow like nature's freezer.
Yes, right.
I love it. I just don't like standing out in it. My lips get chapped, and so does my ass.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's get out. Let's talk about something warmer.
Yeah, right on. Well, speaking of warmer, I actually I had a chance to talk with you this morning. About this project you're doing, and I think this is a very awesome, very interesting project. Considering it's called Veterans Day, but I would like to consider it Veterans Week. I've always kind of felt that way. I'm not now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a guy. I'm not sitting here. I'm going to be like, oh, well, I'm a super huge, military supporter or veteran supporter. And I don't mean that in a bad way. What I mean is, I've always very much appreciated it. I don't think that I think it should always be recognized, what these men and women do. So to me, it's like, oh, we'll give them a day. It's like, man, every day is their fucking day because we're able to do this and be free and talk.
Yeah, we're able to do what we're doing right now because of them.
Right. So, with that being said, this project that you have coming up, I'd like for you to explain it a little bit further in depth to everybody out there listening in the world.
You bet. It's going to be a short movie, 20, 25 minutes. It's going to be dedicated to veterans. Everybody in front of the camera, every actor, extra that's involved in front of the camera is going to be a veteran. And the title of it is called I Got Your Six. And the main thrust of the whole movie is to let veterans know when they see this, they're not alone out there, even though they get the feeling like they may be alone after coming back from combat or just out of the military or whatever. There's lots of veterans out there that's got their back and got their six. And so that's the main thrust. And the story is where there's a World War II veteran. He's reading a newspaper in a nursing home, and he sees where they're going to turn some worthless land into a shopping center. But he quickly realizes that worthless land used to be his farm. And so he escapes out of the nursing home to go see his farm one last time before it's turned into a shopping center. And the deputy who finds him is also an Army veteran, and they hit it off really well. And there's a lot more twists and turns in the story. But, in the end, all the veterans come up behind the old man to support him. And so we're going to show veterans in their everyday life. We'll recreate some situations like mechanics and bar rooms and stuff like that. But we want to show them in their everyday normal routine coming in to help out a fellow veteran.
Man, that's super awesome. And the fact that you're involving veterans is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody in front of the camera will be a veteran. And then if we make any money on it, all that money will be donated back to a veterans organization. Right now, we've already partnered with Texas Veterans for Outdoors. And I imagine we'll be partnering with at least one more. And so we can split it 50-50 among the two.
That's super awesome, man. We need more of that. It's like I said, I don't really get into politics or any of that jazz, but I do think that it is a travesty that these guys, men and women, come back, and a lot of them fall hard, or they suffer from PTSD.
Yeah.
I mean, you are trained to live this lifestyle that is, I mean, it's brutal in nature, and it's like, in a way, I guess you could word it as it's kind of like the ultimate high, but how do you really ever come down from that?
Exactly. And the man that's going to play our deputy, he's an Iraq war veteran. And he said in a matter of a few seconds, he lost 25 of his best friends.
Yeah.
And so, that just kind of explains exactly what they've gone through. And, he's a veteran of the United States Army and Iraq war. And so he jumped on the bandwagon real quick. And so, he helped, make it come true. He's going to be a really good asset to it. And he's a new actor, and he's really coming on. Mm-hmm. But like I said, we're having some auditions for the old man right now. But again, everybody's going to be a veteran, and we've got them. Gosh, we're going to have 50, 75 veterans probably in the movie at the final scene, and we've got at least that many supplied already, if not more.
Hoo-ah, yeah!
Amen, brother.
Yeah. That's killer, man. We definitely need more stuff like that because, like I said, these people have seen some horrors, and you're talking about that gentleman losing, 26 of his friends in Iraq?
25 of his best
25?
friends in a few seconds.
Yeah. And
that just matter a few seconds.
And how many of that was like in front of this person? You know?
It's all around him.
Yeah, it's
all around him.
It's insane, really, to comprehend. No one. I don't even think once you get there, you can really comprehend war. It's one of those things that it should never happen to begin with. It's unnatural, in my opinion. It really is.
Exactly. But there's always going to be that enemy out there, and we've always got to be ready. Because somebody wants to come and take over America.
Yeah, fuck that. It ain't happening. I don't think so.
Yeah, it ain't going to happen. And they ain't going to take Texas.
Oh, hell no. You're damn right about that. Everything's bigger in Texas. The beers and the guns.
That's right.
Yeah, so super awesome project. And when do you expect you guys will be finished and wrap up with this thing?
We're going to film. It's going to be a 2-day film, December 7th, which is Pearl Harbor Day, and December 8th. I wrote 2 scripts. Basically, that way it's easier to film. One will be where the old man is and get all that taken care of on Saturday, and then Sunday we'll be spinning off into the different businesses, and we've had all kinds of businesses volunteer. Cafes volunteered their cafe to be used, a mechanic shop, a vineyard. Let's see, there's in a barbecue place, and we're gonna have bikers in there. And cowboys getting along, and we hope they get along anyway.
Yeah. That's a new one. I've never played bikers and cowboys, but hey, I'm willing to try.
Yeah. And so get them and show them all. And what's going to happen is, they're going to be listening to something that happens on the scanner. I don't want to give it all away, but something happens on the scanner, and all the veterans start saying, not on my watch. It's not going to happen on my watch. No. And so we start showing them all just emptying out of different places. And going and standing behind that elderly man that's a veteran of World War II. Because he's just telling the deputy about his land down there. This piece of worthless land really has a lot of worth to it.
Yeah, I totally get that. Is there anywhere right now or any way people can help support this? Or maybe, I mean, I don't want to allude to like a crowdfunding thing, but even if they just want to,
Sure.
Donate to a specific charity that you're already working with, or help maybe with the whole process.
Yeah, like I said, right now we're partnering up with Texas Veterans for Outdoors, and we'll be partnering up with another one. But yeah, they can contact me through IMDb or Messenger, Facebook, and we'll get with them, and we'll direct that money to the right place, and we'll get a account started. And if we can get enough money to pay the people to put this thing on, it will really help us out. And then everything past that will be donated back to the veterans. And, that's one of the first things I'm going to ask the organization. I've got 3 emails out waiting on return. How much percentage of the money goes to the veterans? I don't want a 50-50 or 60-40. I want, 90% or better. Texas Veterans for Outdoors, it's 100%. And so that's what I want. I don't want to give it to somebody behind the desk to regulate it. I want to give it to the veterans and help them out. So I'm waiting for 3 organizations to get back with me, and we'll go from there on that.
Awesome. Well, you're doing your part, man. You're doing a good deed, brother, and
well, thank you.
Utilizing your talents to do so. So much respect for that, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I wrote a play back, and it was produced back this spring called Windows Home about a Vietnam POW. And we had 9 performances, 9 standing ovations. And what we didn't realize is after one of the shows, when the men came out, elderly men, I guess you should say, he was actually a Vietnam POW. And that was pretty surreal to find out there was somebody in the audience that was actually a Vietnam POW that watched our play. And he didn't come to me. He came to me and he couldn't talk, and so he went to the main star and pulled him over the side and told him. That was an amazing experience.
Yeah, man, that's that's really cool.
Do you do these, Bill Sreten here? Do you do these performances at a certain theater? Do you have like a home theater, or is there one in your town, or is there one nearby?
There was one nearby. I served on the board of Brownwood Lyric Theater, and it had to go through a lot more than the normal play, just because they didn't want it to look like, hey, he's on the board and we're going to let him throw this play together. And I stayed out of it. Once they approved it, I stayed out of it, let them pick the director and stars and all that. And they performed it, and like I said, it was big crowds every night, got bigger every night as it went, and then, like I said, 9 performances, 9 standing ovations, and there wasn't a dry eye in the place, I guarantee you. So if your eyes were dry, you were stone-hearted, that's for sure.
Oh, man.
But, I tried to incorporate, I'm 57, and those were my heroes growing up, guys, when you're in elementary school, they're in college, in that age, and they're going to Vietnam, and so that was my heroes. And so I wrote a story based on what went on back at home, and the difficulties his wife had at home versus the difficulties he had in Vietnam. And so there was 2 sides of every war. You always go off and leave family. And so I wanted to capture that in that play, and so now I'm going to capture in this. I've got your 6. I'm going to capture memories of a man that lived his life on the farm, and everything went on, and how just a piece of land could be turned into, a shopping center without a thought.
Right. Yeah, something that really affects a person who is involved with that situation deeply. I mean, that's, you going real deep on us there, Bill.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Just like there's an oak tree down there, and him and his wife got married 73 years ago under that oak tree. It's just an oak tree to everybody else, but it really means a lot to that soldier. Yeah. And so we're kind of bringing that out along everything else.
Well, that's cool because everybody out there listening has that fucking thing that they can relate
That's
to.
right.
Where this is just, this pen in front of me is just a fucking pen, but to somebody else, that's, this was a pen they had when, they're a kid or something.
Granddad gave it to her. Yeah.
There's
or
always that
brought back a memory, or just little things like that.
There's always that spot, that area, that thing, that person, that, that song that brings you back, and it melts your heart, or it takes you to a place that makes you happy, like. Yeah,
you smell, if you smelled apple pie, a lot of times it makes you think of your mother and Thanksgiving and things like that. It's just really weird the way brain works.
I love me an apple pie. Yeah.
Yeah. Or smell that perfume of your first girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. My first girlfriend, I smelled something else. It was a little raunchy, but, we won't go into that.
we won't go there.
Never mind that. So, Bill, I kind of want to get in real quick before we go into other projects that you've been a part of. Give everybody a brief background on where you came from, because I thought it was really interesting. You were a superintendent for a school for a number of years, right?
Yes, I was superintendent for 2 different school districts for 11 years. And I spent 33 years in education as a principal for 15, and then decided to move over into the other side of the office, and become a superintendent for 11. Mm-hmm. And so,
so you went from paddling. You went from paddling the kids to paddling the employees, then, right?
There you go. Yeah, and so then I figured I tortured everybody long enough and got out of it. And got into the acting and writing. I'd been writing, but I hadn't published until I got out because, being in a political position, I didn't want people to say, "Oh, conflict of interest," and you're writing instead of doing your job and all this kind of stuff. People don't realize, when you write, it's usually like 2 a.m. when I get in from a basketball game or football game, something like that, So,
well, that's to me, that's a sign of a killer artist. I know when I was younger and I used to do a lot of my drawings and artwork, I mean, that shit didn't, and even writings. I used to do a lot of poetry and stuff. That shit wouldn't come out till, late at night. And I would be on top of it, and it would just be the best time. I don't know what it is, but I know there's a lot of...
You wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, there's a lot of other artists out there, I can't speak right now, that do the same thing. It's that late night thing. It's just creative juices start flowing and all that.
That's right. Yeah, I had to move my computer out of the bedroom because my wife was driving her crazy. You hear that computer hacking away in the middle of the night. Like, you got to move it. You got to move it. You're waking me up. So,
yeah, right.
Yeah, so, I've got 3 or 4 more novels written that I hadn't had published. Trying to get one of them done. We thought we'd have it out by Christmas, but there's no way. Just too much going on right now.
So you got some books published right now, then?
I've got one out right now. I've got the play out and the showdown in Guadalupe. I've got it out on Amazon.com also.
Oh, nice.
And then I've got another one that, I hadn't signed anything, but they say it's funded for a movie. We'll see. But it's exciting to think about it anyway. Yeah. I don't get too fired up till we sign the contract and see money in my checking account.
Right. That's the way to do it, man. It's the same way I go through with trying to do interviews. I hit people up, they respond, great, but I don't expect them to, I'll get excited once it actually happens.
That's right. And, hopefully it comes to fruition. And because my wife challenged me to write that novel because she said, you write all these novels about men and everything, you need to write one about a woman being a hero in your Westerns. So that's what I did. And so that's the one that we're looking at possibly making a movie in next year. But right now, we're trying to get that one that's, in fact, being shopped in California right now, Showdown on the Brazos, get it done. So we'll film the last 2 days this weekend on it. It's one of those projects you can't wait to start, can't wait to finish. It's kind of like a book.
Right.
So we're in post-production, getting some really good clips in, and I can't wait to tie it all together. Just a side note, I don't know if you know Bill Evans. You ever heard of him? The jazz pianist, 18 award-winning Emmys back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
His son Evan Evans, we signed him as our composer.
Nice.
So, he's really good and just worked us out an amazing deal. And when I talked to him on the phone, it just seemed like we knew each other for years. And so I can't wait he said this week or next, he's going to have the theme song out for us, the theme music. And can't wait to hear that. It's another milestone in the progress of the movie.
I feel you on that. We just got a new theme song ourselves for the show. And,
cool.
I can totally identify and relate to that. I was like, man, this is killer. Here's another milestone,
Yeah.
So
yeah, and when you film a movie, you don't actually film it in order. Now, some of them they do, but the next one I hadn't decided yet. But this one, we're actually filming the very opening scenes this weekend. We're about finished the movie. So, strange world, but we're getting her done.
Nice. And speaking of filming movies and stuff, so you've done some work for tell the people out there listening, like, some of the things you've done that they are like, because I was totally just blown away when we were talking off air about, like, you told me you were part of like Fear the Walking Dead, which I was up until the last couple seasons. Here's the thing, I'm a huge horror fan, so like I really dug the comic books, the source material for Walking Dead. I thought it was well written for a post-apocalyptic world or a zombie ravaged world, however you want to interpret that. I thought it was really well done. The first, I would say, 7 seasons of Walking Dead, the actual Walking Dead, were great. And I only watched, I think, the first 2 of Fear the Walking Dead, and then, just everything and getting involved with stuff, you lose track of things. But I mean, still a huge franchise for you to be a part of. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and some of the other things you've done?
You bet. Starting off, I was featured extra on The Sun with Pierce Brosnan. I got to work with Pierce, hand in hand, right there beside him several times. I was what they call the law and order man, which was a gang member that James Parks, great actor, he was our leader. And there's several scenes there you'll recognize me in if you saw season 1 of The Sun. They killed me off, so I wasn't in season 2. But,
them bastards.
They actually played some eerie music just for me. When James Parks is talking to Maria, and he says, something like, you stand there and run me down in front of my friends, and she turns around and gives that somebody a go to heck look behind her. That's me she's looking at. So, and several other scenes kind of like that. And then I was in Alita Battle Angel, Robert Rodriguez, big 3D movie.
Yeah. I've yet to see that. That was a big deal, though. It looked really, really cool. How'd that come about? I had 3 seconds by myself on the big screen in that one. Nice.
When Christoph Waltz, he leaves his apartment and Alita follows him to see what he's doing. Then they show a street scene, show a drunk laid out there. That's me.
Yeah, brother. Salute.
Yeah, all that practice in college finally paid off. And then Christoph Waltz comes out there and shares the scene with me, looks down at me, keeps walking. So I was in there for that scene, and then the Fear of the Walking Dead came along with some other little ones. But, I was cast as a vulture, which was a group that was trying to overthrow the main characters when they were holed up in the baseball park. And, when you try to overthrow the main characters, that usually is not a good outcome.
Yeah.
And so, they killed me at the very end of the season. They killed us all. I've had a big gunfight, killed us, and then they brought me back as a walker. And the way you can tell which one I am, I'm about 6'5", so I'm the tallest walker out there. So, because they won't let any cameras on, you can't carry your phone, so you couldn't take a picture of yourself with your mask on.
Right.
So they said, "Is that you?" I said, "Well, let me look. Is it the tallest one out there?" Because I couldn't tell you.
And that's, what season is that?
Season 4 and season 5. We just wrapped up season 5 this summer.
Oh, no shit.
Season 4 was the vulture season. And I was on there and got a really good close-up during the gunfight. And it shows me with my AR-15 pointed at the main characters. And but unfortunately, they got to me before I got to them.
Oh,
my gun wouldn't shoot bullets, and theirs did.
How was everybody on set? How are all the actors, everybody, for that?
Oh, they're good. They keep us pretty well separated, during that scene. On The Sun, we pretty well were mixed in with everybody. Pierce would come over and talk to us while we were waiting to go on set, things of that nature. He's just a super guy. As the stars of Fear the Walking Dead walk by, so, there's always, how you doing? I tell you, there's one actor, and I wish I could remember his name. We were sitting there under a tent freezing our tails off, and the heater wasn't working, and he came over there talking to us. He said, "Why ain't your heater going?" I was like, "I don't know. We were sitting here cold." And he said, "I'll fix that in 30 seconds." And somebody run it over there and fixed it for us. So we sure did appreciate him getting that heater fixed for us. But, they've got their job to do. We've got our job to do. And so that's just one of those things that, as I notice when I'm directing my own movie, that everybody's got a job. You just got to keep them all in the right place at the right time, because you don't want them swamping everybody. And, there's always going to be one of those in the crowd that wants to try to get selfies and junk like that. break all the rules and get fired and things of that nature. So they screen you pretty hard before they give you a job.
Right. Did you now? So you got to experience life in the afterlife, so to speak, as a zombie. What was makeup like for that? Did it take long? Did you get to talk to Greg Nicotero at all, or?
I don't remember him, but yeah, they would paint us up some, and a lot of latex masks. And they call the hero walkers. They get a lot more makeup than they're the really close-up ones.
Mm.
And I never was that. I was always a mask walker. And if your hand sweats, your hand's pretty hot. And this summer, as we're holding our masks, there's certain way they want you to hold it when you're not wearing it, and your hand just dripping wet with sweat from in there. So when you put that mask on, it's like 150 degrees in there. It's like an oven.
Oh yeah.
One of the assistant directors, he said, I want to put the mask on and see what it's like. He said, as soon as I put it on, I started yelling for medics. It's so bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah, and in the wintertime, it's not too bad, but with the mask on. But when we were filming the big shootout in season 4, it's like 32 degrees and the wind blowing, and we're out there just in our costumes and freezing to death. And you're just trying to get out of the wind as much as possible until they yell, cameras rolling, and you run to your spot and get ready to go.
And suffering for your art, huh?
Yeah, that's right. I think trying to act warm is a lot harder to do than anything else.
Oh yeah.
Because you're freezing.
A couple weeks ago, I tried to take a cold shower, an ice cold shower. Sreten thinks it's like a good thing to do, and he does this shit all the time apparently. But man, I couldn't do it. Unfortunately, in my apartment complex, they switched owners, so whatever the fuck happened, the transition, it was like a few days I didn't have hot water. And so I'd have to go to other places to shower. And the one day I had to go to like a wrestling event or something, I'm like, screw it. I could jump in there real quick, like if I would have actually jumped in, I probably would have freaked out and slid and broke my neck or something. Like, it was so damn cold. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm standing there naked in the bathtub, like telling my girlfriend, like, go boil some water. I can't do it. Like, I just shaved my head, and I need to get all that crap off. And it was the worst shower I ever had.
Yeah, I just got back from elk hunting, and we had no showers. And you try to clean up with wet wipes and everything else.
Yeah.
It tests your patience really quick. But, when it's 6 degrees, you don't need a bath.
Yeah, yeah. So you're hunting elk down there in what, Texas?
No, we were in Colorado. Me and one of my co-stars went up there and took our horses and went hunting. Didn't have any luck, got snowed on, and that's about it. So.
Well, at least there's some good greenery from what I hear, and you won't get in trouble.
That's right. Yeah, you can stop by that greenery anywhere you want to as soon as you cross the border.
Yep, that is correct. So let me ask you this, Bill, because we were talking earlier too. So you do, you got a lot going on. I mean, obviously you jump from the school thing into acting and writing and directing and all that, and you own your own vineyard, right?
Yeah, just started that, and that's what our retirement was going to be. We didn't realize this we did for acting in movies. We did that, and so we've got 2 acres in the ground right now, and 4 more coming, and we'll stop with 6 acres, and that's a pretty good sized vineyard. That'll be about 6,000 plants to take care of.
Wow.
Yeah, we're growing red wine grapes, and it's really been a lot of fun. We moved out to a place we bought to retire on, and we downsized from 2,300 square foot to 300 square foot. So, we had 4-bedroom house for 2 of us. We decided we sure didn't need that, and so now we took a 14 by 28, something like that, storage building and converted it into an apartment and just living life like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, right.
Sounds great.
Man, cheers to that. So, yeah, Sreten's a big red wine fanatic. He got me really fucked up on here in one episode. Oh, man.
I never liked wine until we started talking about putting one in and then started trying it. I got to have my wine every night now.
It's that lifestyle you just explained is what I find romantic. I went to visit some friends in New Braunfels a couple years ago, and we got to go to we went up to Austin to check it out. and we went to some of the wineries and breweries, which I didn't even know that was wine country. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And it was great. Just to drive from spot to spot, relax, get some smoked meats, cut them up, and just open up a couple of bottles of wine. And usually you're up on top of the hill. And it's just great being out there. There's a little bit of green, there's a little bit of dry land, and it just, I could see living that way every day.
Beautiful down there, and that's we go down there every once in a while. As soon as we walk in the winery and tell them what we're doing, we have a vineyard. Every one of them finds the owner's card and gives it to us and says, "We're going to want your grapes." But luckily, we've got a winery here close. It's going to produce our, they're going to buy our grapes, but put it under our label, so we'll, be Quail Whistle vineyard of some kind, and so we'll go from there. But it's going to be pretty neat once that comes out too.
Bill, I kind of got an idea for you, and this just sprung up into my brain right now with you doing the whole vineyard thing. And this is something that I just became aware of this past year. You ever heard of cotton candy grapes?
No, I hadn't.
Well, I'm telling you, they are a real thing. They really exist. And you guys...
Taste like cotton candy?
They taste just like cotton candy. Just like cotton candy.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't know how they do it. I know they're very, they only come, there's like a small window, like 2 months or something during the year where they're available, like during the summertime. But man, they're amazing. If you could make a fucking wine out of cotton candy grapes, I just handed you $1 million idea.
Stand back. Stand back.
Send me a bottle.
There you go. It's like a Tempranillo. A good Tempranillo's got a black pepper taste to it.
Ooh,
and there's no black pepper in it. It's like, how in the world did you get that taste in there? It's just amazing, the different flavors they've got in grapes and bred them and come from the old country and all that kind of good stuff.
You're getting all kinds of, educated on wine and stuff when all I know is like, is it red or is it white? Is it sweet or is it,
there you go,
tart? Man,
can I drink it or can I afford it or not?
Yeah, totally. So did you just start this vineyard or?
We'll have our first crop next year. Yeah, it's only about 3 years old, and we'll have our first crop of grapes next year, and they're called Tanat. It's a really good wine. If you like straight, really dry red wine, and a lot of people mix it, but and then we'll have Suzal in a few years. We got it planted, and then Morvet and Petit Verdot coming in next year.
Nice.
Staying plenty busy.
Hell yeah. So speaking of staying plenty busy, Bill, answer me this one question.
Okay.
Are you a cowboy?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So what does it mean in 2019 and beyond in this day and age to be a cowboy in Texas?
I think it's more mentality than anything else. You're independent, stand your ground, stand what you stand for, and, God, country, and family. And, you can wear a cowboy hat. That doesn't make you a cowboy.
Right.
But, the real ones, like I'm standing out here by a barbecue fire right now with a cowboy hat, boots, and talking to y'all outside, fixing to put some T-bones on so we get through talking here. And got potatoes already about ready to go. But, I have 2 horses out here that come by and visit me every once in a while. I had 13, but that was too many to feed, so I kind of cut back. Had some cows, I got rid of them. That's when we went to the vineyard business because they don't get out at night and kick you when you're working and all that kind of stuff. But I think cowboy is more a state of mind than anything else. I mean, you can, just that independent nature, and you don't have to be just from Texas to have that, but just that good God's soul. Take care of your family, put them first. You work every day, and be happy with life. Man. And you accept everybody for what they are.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm a little envious right now because you're talking about putting on some T-bones and all that good stuff, and I'm probably going to end up at a freaking McDonald's or White Castle after this. Fuck my life.
I want to treat Stephen right. Stephen's last night in Texas. I want to treat him right. T-bones and potatoes, and he's going to walk away here fatter than he was the other day. That's for sure.
Oh man, yeah, you're treating Steve right down there, huh?
Yeah. I got to carry him back to the train tomorrow. But his last night in Texas, I thought I'll feed him a good old T-bone over some mesquite wood and show him what real living is.
Yeah, right. For sure. Well, I appreciate it, man, and I appreciate everything that you've been able to share with us tonight. Now,
You bet.
let us know, let the world know where everybody can find you at and interact with you.
Okay, we have a YouTube station, Coil Whistle Productions, and that's where our trailer is for a Showdown on the Brazos movie we're working on right now. And that is award-winning, just won the best trailer out in the Live Bunch Film Festival. And then you can check out our IMDb page under Bill Foster or our Showdown on the Brazos. Keep up with our movie there. And we also do Facebook, Bill Foster, and then Showdown on the Brazos Facebook page. We got a lot of background pictures, and people can kind of keep up with us there. So, and if you're in the Brownwood area and you want to come out and watch this film Saturday morning, check out the Facebook page, and I posted the address there. We'll everybody come out and watch this film last morning and get a few autographs and pictures with the actors, and we try to make it a fun family deal.
Awesome. Very, very awesome. And real quick before I let you go, I had to ask you this because I totally spaced it.
Okay.
Bill, what's your favorite music?
Country. There's only two kinds of music in the world. That's country and western.
Ah, here we go. And speaking of western,
But I do like the 60s.
Really? Some of
Yeah,
that
man, love
psychedelia?
the 60s. CCR.
Oh, yeah.
ZZ, then you get on into the 70s, 80s, little ZZ Top.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm totally down with some ZZ Top and CCR, man.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
David
stuff.
Allen Coe.
Oh, hey, let me tell you this. I love some David Allen Coe, but the album I like the most, he'll never get into the country music Hall of Fame with this album, the XXX rated hits. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, I can't believe it.
I have to Google it and find it.
Yeah, there's some taboo stuff, I guess, on there, but it's there's some really funny, like just whatever dirty humor shit. It was kind of like back in the day, like an FU to the mainstream.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, he's plenty of an outlaw, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, totally. And he'd been up here and played quite a few times. It's weird. I know a guy who spent some time with him and his band. I guess I think what was it? I think David got arrested or something like that. So he was in jail or locked up for like a day or two, and his band just went and hung out with my ex-girlfriend's uncle for like 3 or 4 days, and he's like, man, I just partied with these guys. Like, really? He's like, yeah. Like, and then David got out, and he came and he hung out for a little bit, and then they had to get on their way and do their thing. But yeah,
little side road experience.
Yeah, totally. Well, once again, Bill, man, thank you very much for coming on the show. I had a great time talking to you.
Oh, thank you.
I really wish you the best in everything that you're doing, man. And we'll keep in touch, and we'll do this again sometime, man.
You bet. Can't wait. After we get it done December 7th and 8th, we'll holler back, kind of tell you how it went.
Hell yeah.
That'd be great.
I'd appreciate it, brother.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. You have a good night. And
enjoy your night.
Hey, smack Steve around a bit for me.
Okay. I'll go in there and give him a good treat.
Hey, man.
He's laid on my couch.
Yeah, get that lazy motherfucker up. You know what you need to do? Instead of tenderizing that meat, you need to tenderize his face. Just go smack him with a T-bone like, wake up. It's time for some cowboy
there
shit.
You
go. Cowboy shit. Cowboy shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thanks.
That's great, man.
Yeah. Man, I
appreciate
really,
it.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, brother. You have a good night, man.
Good luck. Break a leg with all that filming.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Will do. Take care. Talk to you later.
Take
all
care.
Right, good night.
Bye-bye.
If you like that video, then please hit subscribe and share with all of your friends, and continue to support the JPDUB podcast. We're all over the place on all podcasting platforms for your stimulation.